before. A father, a mother, a daughter, a son. The threads of their lives are all raveling undone. Something is needed to twist them as tight as a string you might use when you're flying a kite. Chim, chimney, chim, chim, cherry, chim, cherry.
And who gets stuck with the children with no nanny in the house? Me, that's who. Well, I've had my say, Mrs. Brill. I'm done with this house forever. Well, good riddance then. And mind you don't stumble on your way out.
Where is she going? What on earth am I going to say to Mr. Banks?
What is all this commotion? Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain, whilst I remain the sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane. Coat. Winifred, you've engaged 6 nannies in the last 4 months, and they've all been unqualified disasters.
A nanny should govern, a nanny should rule. A nanny is a paragon who suffers no fool.
A nanny's a stalwart our children would gain by having such a nanny in Cherry Tree Lane. Briefcase. Umbrella.
If only we could find someone like your old nanny.
Few women alive could manage Miss Andrews' standards of efficiency. And besides, we could never afford someone of her caliber. Now, place an advertisement in the Times stating that Jane and Michael Banks require the best possible nanny at the lowest possible wage.
Father, we've written our own advertisement.
What on earth?
Please, George, I think we should hear it.
If you want this choice position, have a cheery disposition, rosy cheeks.
No, Woods, that's the part I put in.
Play games or suits, you must be kind, you must be witty, very sweet and very pretty.
Well, of all the ridiculous...
George, please.
Take us on outings, give us treats,
Sing songs, bring sweets.
we won't hide your spectacles so you can't see.
Put toads in your bed or pepper in your tea.
Hurry, nanny, many thanks, sincerely, Jane
And Michael Banks.
That is quite enough Tommy rot for one day. Now, will you please go to the nursery and let me get to work?
They were only trying to help.
It won't help anyone to make me late. Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain, whilst I remain the sovereign.
You remain the sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane.
Good morning.
Yes?
I've come in answer to the advertisement.
What advertisement? We haven't placed any.
Now let's see. Play games or sorts, which I most certainly can. Take us on outings, give us treats.
Michael, it's our advertisement.
Rosy cheeks and fairly pretty. There's no objection on that score, I hope.
Oh, none at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
But take it up with Mrs. Banks. She manages all that side of things. Nothing domestic has anything to do with me. And don't forget the references.
I make it a rule never to give references.
Oh, I see.
I'll see the children now, thank you.
Oh, yes, you'll find they're very nice children. Now, this is,
Mary Poppins. Jane, don't stand. Close your mouth, Michael. We are not a codfish. Best foot forward, split spot.
what I did.
Tidy nursery, I must say. Who's responsible for that?
Mrs. Brew.
Me! I am. I like to keep things neat.
Do you indeed? Well, I look forward to making use of that. There's one thing I appreciate. It's a child whose word I can depend on. Now, first things first. I always say the proper place to hang hat is on a hat stand.
There's nothing in it.
We better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky.
Mary Poppins, how could you know what we wanted in a nanny when we made our list?
Your list? I'm not an item in the weekly shop, thank you very much.
How did you come then? It's as if the wind just blew you here.
It did. Now, stand over there. Just as I thought, a noisy, mischievous, troublesome little boy.
You're making that up. A noisy, mischievous...
Now you. Thoughtless, short-tempered, and untidy.
I don't believe you. Let me see. What about your measurement, Mary Poppins?
I'm practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect.
So people say each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great and patently sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had a fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Now, perhaps you may have a few questions.
Not temperamental.
Never.
Not grouchy or gruff.
The very thought.
Will you stay tender when the going gets tough?
Quite the contrary.
Do you read stories without a big fuss?
I'll have objections to playing with us.
Some minor improvements may not go amiss, but at all times you must remember this. I like games, but I get to choose them.
That's not fair!
I said I was fair. I said I was practically perfect, and here's my aim. By the time I leave here, you both will be the same. You'll be practically perfect.
Practically perfect.
You will be practically perfect in every way. Best foot forward, split spot.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. I does what I likes, and I likes what I do. Today, I'm a screever, and as you can see, a screever's an artist of highest degree. And it's all me own work, from me own memory. Stay right where you are. I'd know that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins.
It's nice to see you, Bert.
I must say, you do look lovely.
He can't know you. You've only just arrived.
I wasn't born 1 minute before I walked into your house, Michael Banks. Have you met these two?
Seen him running about chasing a kite.
This isn't a real kite.
So, what are you up to?
Mary Poppins says it's a game. It's called a walk in the park.
Some game. I'd rather eat spinach.
Come along, Bert.
You can't come
with us. You're too dirty, and we don't want to go to the sticky park anyway.
Oh, yes, you do. Because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you go to places you've never even dreamed of. All that it takes is a spark. And then something as plain as a park becomes a wonderland. All you have to do is look anew. Then you'll understand why it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
Oh, really?
When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright.
Nonsense.
Oh, happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the
I haven't
dove.
the faintest idea.
When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
There's enough brass for all of us.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Come on, you two.
Boring, just like other nannies thinking. Parks are good for us. It's just statues, ducks, and grannies. I don't understand all the fuss. Is she doing it to spite us? We could lose her for a laugh. Perhaps it's all a plot. I'll tell you what. She seems so different, but I bet she's not. There is nothing to excite us in the park. What was that?
You're quite wrong, you know. When you take a walk with Mary, anything can happen.
Oh, who are you?
I'm Nelius. I've waited half a century to take a walk on a sunny day like this. Man out with his dog will stand agog to see a statue take a gentle jump. Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Oh, let's go for a jaunty saunter. We are bound to make a mark. Look, the day is light and ordinary. Mary makes the sun shine bright. Oh, happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dove. When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band. Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
Jane, did that really just happen? Yes, but how?
Mary Poppins, of course.
But how did you make it happen?
Anything can happen if you let it.
Don't leave us, will you, Mary Poppins?
I'll stay until the wind changes. Now, run along in.
Jane and Michael want to say goodnight.
Tell them you've given me the message.
George, please.
Oh, Daddy, we've had a fantastic day. We danced with a statue and sang with a buska. You wouldn't have approved, but...
If you know that, then why did you do it?
Daddy, could I have a kite? A proper one?
Could you fly it?
Well, you could always teach me.
Now, when would I have the time to do that? Now, will you please let me get on? Good night.
Poor Michael. All he cares about is flying kites.
I used to love flying kites at his age, but my nanny, Miss Andrew, soon frightened it out of me.
Is it out of the question to do without a nanny?
Don't be absurd. All the best people have nannies, so the wives can do charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how is your tea party coming on?
I'm not sure. It seems so odd to send out invitations to people I hardly know.
But they're people you should know. Remember, by your friends shall you be judged.
But that's the point. They're not my friends.
Winifred, dearest, I'm only thinking of you. Are you going to say something to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well, but just make sure she's doing things our way and not hers.
Winds do change, tides can turn, sink or swim, see what you learn. Me, I was told when I was small, just learn a trade. So I learned them all. Chim chimney, chim chim cheree.
Mrs. Brill, what about the cake?
It's just out of the oven and too hot to be iced. Or touched for that matter.
Are you quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure. And in case you're worried, I have not been exchanged by the fairies for a total nincompoop.
I'll just go up and check the drawing room then.
I'd like to be helpful, and I'd like to be rich, but destiny thought otherwise.
Mother wants you in the drawing room. She said you can tell Roberts and I what to do.
Oh, really? Does she?
Please, Mrs. Brill, I want to help.
All right, I'll give you one task, but one task only. Put the icing tools next to the cake. Do you think you can manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. I swear a slave in ancient Rome was on a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Michael, why don't we make the icing?
Because we don't know how.
Don't be so feeble. Get me the eggs and the flour.
Are there eggs in icing?
There are in mine. Roberts and I, bring me the cake.
Mrs. Brill, go up and get ready
Roberts and
now.
I? Roberts and I? Oh dear. Should I call the doctor?
I don't think that would be necessary, ma'am.
Children, you know how important my party is. You deserve some very nasty medicine. Just you wait till bedtime.
Oh, I don't think we should wait until then, ma'am. Why not go upstairs and get changed? We'll clear up now, won't we?
But we're not ill. I won't take it, and you can't make me.
In that, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Open.
But it's strawberry ice.
Now you.
I'm not sure I like strawberry ice.
I'm not sure I care. Open.
Lime cordial.
Now let's get started. Michael, I know you like to keep things neat. Jane.
Must we? Can't Roberts and I do it when he wakes up? He is a servant.
With that attitude, you'll get through a lot of stuff before you're very old. Besides, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap. The job's a game, and every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a look, a spree. It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. The honeybees fetch the nectar from the flowers to the comb, never tire, never buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they see, and hence they find their task is not a grind. For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in this delightful way. Write yourselves, please. Let's go. Up we go, Roberts and I.
Mary Poppins, you're a miracle worker. You can do it.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
Come along, children. Sit spot.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but these came in this morning and Roberts and I forgot to give them to you. They're apologies, ma'am, from your guests. They're not coming. None of them.
Oh, do you think we chose the wrong day?
No, ma'am. I think you chose the wrong people.
In a most delightful way.
I thought we might play our next game.
What game?
A visit to the bank.
That's not a game. Did Daddy agree? If he did, you must have put the idea into his head somehow.
What an impertinent thing to say. Me putting ideas into other people's heads? Really?
Closing ideal. Prudent investment. Financial sense. A perfect ray of sunshine. Pound shillings and pence.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Thanks. A word? I see Herr von Hustler is coming in again today. Have you made your decision?
I believe so, sir.
Good, good. Be sure it's the right one.
In every transaction, credit or debt, sheets are all well balanced, targets are met.
Airbags, what objections can you have? Latin America is an expanding market, and my security is more than adequate. Have you no courage?
But, Mr. Von Hustler, what I haven't been able to grasp is what exactly is your final product?
What do you think? Money, of course.
Yes, money, but making money out of money, is that enough?
Are you man enough to be a banker?
Assessing the market, limit the risk, little room for error, business is brisk.
Have you come to a decision, Mr. Banks? There's a handful of good people whose futures depend on you.
I know that.
Give us this chance. The factory could be running in weeks and expanding before the year's out. Please, Mr. Banks, I'll give it everything I've got.
I believe you, Mrs. Northbrook, but how can I be sure the money would be safe?
What about my workforce? They'll make it safe. My men have dreams to earn an honest living. A wife and kids, a home to call their own. If you'd invest in us today, it paves the way. I promise we'd repay the loan.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Northbrook, but I can't.
Hello, Daddy.
What on earth are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?
No, we're done. No man should be too busy for his own children. What are you here for, young man? Have you come for some money as well?
Hardly. What would they need the money for?
Well, it's never too early to learn its value.
Wait, I know the value of this. 6 pence.
No, that's what it's worth. Its value is how you spend it. Do good, and may you have good luck.
And what do you say to Mrs. Northbrook?
Thank you.
I'll wait outside.
When I was a little boy, I would have never dared interrupt my father.
Were you ever a little boy?
Of course, but my nanny, Miss Andrew, kept me out of my father's way.
What about your mother?
I don't think I saw either of them more than once a week.
Then who hugged you or kissed you goodnight?
There was no time for hugs and kisses and all that soppy nonsense.
Poor Daddy. When you invest the bank's money, what are you looking for, Daddy? A good man or a good idea?
I suppose I should say a good idea, but a good man is much rarer and much more valuable.
Come along, children.
I've considered your arguments, Mr. Von Hustler, but I'm afraid my answer is no.
So you don't know a good idea when you see one?
Perhaps not, but I know a good man when I see one.
You will regret this, Herr Banks.
A man with dreams that life hasn't broken. A man with hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man you're certain at first glance deserves a chance. Now, Mrs. Northbrook, when exactly could the new factory open?
Thank you, sir. You will regret this.
bags full of crumbs. Come feed the little birds, show them you care, and you'll be glad if you do. Their young ones are hungry, their nests are so bare, all it takes is tuppence from you. The birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
Feed the birds, that's what she cries, while overhead her bags fill the skies. Here, one bag, please. All around the cathedral, the saints and the apostles go down as she sounds her bells. All around, sing and roll, birds are simple and few. Listen, she's calling to you.
Feed the birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
Hello, Bert.
Hello, Mary. Hello, kids.
Hello. We're off to Mrs. Corey's talking shop. Can't you join us?
Talking shop?
Who's Mrs. Corey? Who's Mrs. Corey? Mrs. Corey's older than anyone in the world. She took to William before he went conquering, and to Vlad before he went impaling, and to Alexander before he went so great.
But that's impossible.
Anything can happen if you let it.
Well, 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 if it isn't Mary Poppins with Jane and Michael Banks.
She knows us?
And how is poor little Georgie?
Who?
Georgie Banks, your father. He used to give his nanny the slip and come into my shop in secret. I remember poor little Georgie used to love my gingerbread stars. Now, Mary Poppins, what can I do for you?
Well, I did want an ounce of conversations.
I'm out of conversations. But I do have some letters.
Now, let's see. What words can we make out of these?
Routoplex.
Lapitiferous.
Those don't count. You made them up.
And where do you think words came from in the first place? Somebody had to make them up.
Now, we can use the same letters more than once. Let's see. Super. Calid. Fragile. Istic. XP. Ali. Docious.
That's not a word.
Of course it's a word, and unless I'm very much mistaken, I think it's a rather useful one. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leaf through lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word. A little spontaneity keeps conversation keen. You need to find a way to say precisely what you mean. Supercalifragilistic, expialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic, expialidocious.
Diddle 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 I. Diddle little diddle I. Diddle little diddle. When Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice.
Though if they heard this word, they might have used it once or twice.
I'm sure the Roman Empire only until
Supercalifragilistic, expialidocious. If you say it softly, the effect can be hypnosis. Check your breath before you speak in case it's halitosis.
Yeah!
Supercalifragilistic, expialidocious. Diddle little little diddle lie. Diddle little little diddle lie. Diddle little little diddle lie. Diddle little little diddle lie.
You know you can't say it backwards, which is Supercalifragilistic.
She may be tricky, but she's bloody good.
So can't stop your tongue, there's no need for display. Just sum it up with this word, and then you've got a lot to say.
Pick out those 18 consonants at 16 vowels as well, and put them in an order which is very hard to spell.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-G O-C-I-O-U-S.
Smarty pets.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-T-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-O-U-S S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-T-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-O-U-S.
Here we go!
Supercalifragilistic, expialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic, 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 expialidocious. Supercalifragilistic, expialidocious.
George, why on earth are you home so early? Is everything all right?
No, everything's all wrong. After I refused to loan the bank's money to some German chap, he went to our chief rivals. They gave him the money, and now it looks set to be a gold mine.
Well, they can't expect you to get it right every time.
That's exactly what they expect.
Supercalifragilistic, expialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough,
That is more than loud enough. Go to your room now. Mary Poppins, you are here to teach the children manners, and just look at them.
George, you're tired. Mary Poppins, perhaps you could keep the children occupied in the nursery tonight.
that's not fair. Daddy loses his temper and we're shut up in the nursery. Daddy's mean and rotten. I hate him.
Jane, take that back this instant. I will not have you criticize your father like that. Mary Poppins, please take them upstairs.
Come along.
George, if you have troubles, I'd like to share them.
Don't worry, you will. I've been suspended without salary until they decide what to do with me.
Ups and downs. One moment smiles, next moment frowns. But bad-tempered faces had better change quick. 'Cause if the wind changes, the face might just stick. Chim chimney, chim chim, chiree chim cheroo.
Why did Daddy get so cross? Fathers are supposed to look after their children, not yell at them all the time.
Perhaps, but do you think of who looks after the fathers when things go wrong?
The mothers, I suppose.
Not the children.
Wouldn't that be rather upside down?
Some families are upside down. For a while, anyway.
I don't want to be a part of an upside-down family. I wish I could just run away.
Then why don't you?
But you'd miss me.
No, I wouldn't.
All right, that's enough, you two. Now to bed at once.
Oh, Mary Poppins, I wish you'd just leave us alone.
Be careful with the things you wish for.
Don't you ever stop.
You should govern your temper, or your temper will govern you.
I am sick and tired of your stupid references and your stupid games.
Just get into bed.
Well, I'm not tired and you can't make me.
In that, as in so many things,
Your information
is faulty. Playing the game, having a ball. Those who don't play shan't fight all. Will we meet again? Maybe when they've learned to play the game.
Up where the smoke is all billowed and curled, between pavement and stars as the chimney sweeps the world, where there's hardly no day, nor hardly no night. There's things half in shadow and halfway in light. On the rooftops of London. Whew, what a sight.
Joining the sleep tonight, are we?
Best view in the world, eh? Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo.
Good luck will rub off when he shakes hands with you.
Or blow me a kiss,
But
and that's lucky too. You're going then?
the winds have changed.
But they're good kids, Mary.
Would I be bothering with them if they weren't? But they won't let me help them, so they've got to do this next bit on their own. Cheerio, but keep an eye on them for me.
Where's Mary Poppins?
She's gone.
Gone?
What does au revoir mean?
Why?
Because that's what she's written on the snow. Dear Jane and Michael, keep playing the games. Au revoir, Mary Poppins.
It's French. It means till we meet again. Now back to bed with the both of you.
Nowhere is there a more happier crew than them what sing chim chim chiree chim chiroo. Chim chimney chim chim chiree chim chiroo.
The wind may blow, but who's to know exactly what it's bringing? Good news or bad, happy or sad, the pendulum keeps swinging. A gentle breeze that moves the trees becomes an icy blast. The warmth is gone, they struggle on, and now 6 weeks have passed.
tidy.
As tidy as I can make it, ma'am. Seeing as how for the past 6 weeks I've had all the work to do looking after the children ever since she left. And now I've got all the work to do tidying up the house to welcome her back.
If you knew how hard it was to track her down.
Oh, really, ma'am? Fancy that.
Mrs. Brill, it's her, isn't it?
Well, I don't know who else.
The note says, till we meet again.
George, dear, you're going to be surprised.
Winifred, you know very well I hate surprises.
Oh, George, I do believe you're going to be proud of me. Hurry up, everybody. I want her to find everything. Spit, spot, spit, and span. And span. Our sense of excitement is hard to contain. Order is returning. Wonder is returning. Someone is returning to Cherry Tree Land. last. I do hope you had a good journey.
It was thoroughly unpleasant. Where did George go?
I'm afraid he had an urgent appointment.
I see. It's not much of a house, is it?
We like it.
Then it doesn't take a lot to keep you happy. Look at the dust there and there. Phil, now just one moment. Ah, you must be the children. Pity. I don't suppose you know who I am?
Yes, we do. You're the Holy Terror.
Impudent boy. Why aren't you wearing stockings?
I don't like them.
What manners! I can tell there's not a minute to lose. These children haven't spoiled. I've arrived here just in time, and by chance I brought the punishment that best befits the crime. Brimstone and treacle and carbolic soap, these are the tools of my trade. With spoonfuls of sugar, you don't have a hope of seeing that changes are made. Open.
Does it taste as bad as it smells?
Worse, open. Your son shall go to boarding school immediately. As for the daughter, I shall take charge of her myself. I won't stand for whining or whinging or whimpering, crying or lying or sobbing or simpering. I fear it's clear that in these two such bad habits lie. First threaten to throttle, then uncork the bottle. Brimstone and treacle. Now show me to my room.
I'm disappointed. I truly am. I thought it was going to be...
Do with the umbrella.
Michael, what are we going to do?
The only thing we can do. Run away.
What's the matter and who's after you?
The nastiest nanny in the world.
Is she really as bad as all that?
She looks like something that would eat its young,
Miss Andrew was Daddy's nanny.
which explains a lot.
Poor Daddy. Ever since he stopped working, he just sits and mopes. Mary Poppins used to say he needed our help, but now it's too late.
I wouldn't say that. I'll tell you what. Why don't we start things off with a bit of a shake for good luck?
Why would shaking hands with you bring us luck?
Didn't anyone ever tell you it's lucky to shake a chimney sweep's hand?
Michael, look, it's a real one. What's the matter? You've always wanted to fly a proper kite.
I've always wanted to fly one with Daddy.
Of course you have. But get some training in and you'll make him the proudest father in the whole bloomin' empire. With tuppence for paper and strings, you can have your own set of wings. With your feet on the ground, you're a bird in flight with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. Reel it in.
I can't. It's stuck.
I'll help.
sardine in a tin. And where are your coats?
We didn't have time to put them on.
Because we've run away.
Have you indeed?
Everything's been so awful since you left us, and Miss Andrews came, and Daddy's ruined, and we never helped him like you wanted us to.
Oh my, but your life's a tragedy. Now let's run on home and don't dawdle.
But she's there. She came this morning as a surprise for Daddy.
Did she? Well, maybe I'll be a surprise for her. Hello, Rose.
Welcome, Mary. You're a sight for sore eyes.
You really are. Welcome back, Mary Poppins.
Aren't you going to shake hands with Bert for luck?
I don't need any luck, thank you.
Like that, you stupid boy. You stay there and clean the grate again. Ah, so you've decided to come crawling back, have you? Who are you?
I'm Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, but you left without notice.
And I've come back without notice.
I see. And what do you expect me to do?
Pack?
Pack, you insolent young person. How dare you speak to me in this way? Brimstone and treacle, my favorite liquor, and that will make runaways stop. Impudent children respond so much quicker when forced to drink every last drop. I brought up their father.
Oh, that I don't doubt. You must be so proud at the way he turned out.
A shining example, a pillar,
a post. They all have their problems, but him more than most. I recognize fully that you are a bully who views cruel deeds as a perk. Well, now here's a catch, because you've met your match.
Brimstone and treacle for you. Brimstone and treacle for you.
Brimstone and treacle.
Brimstone and treacle.
Won't That's given her a taste of her own medicine.
Mary Poppins, wherever did you come from?
She came from
Michael!
Michael? Jane? That was very naughty of you to go running off like that, and I should be angry as anything. If I weren't so pleased to see you. Where's Miss Andrew?
She's gone.
Gone? Why?
I'm afraid she didn't give a reason, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. We found this one wandering apart. Night, ma'am.
George.
Where is she?
Miss Andrew? She left. George, Mary Poppins is back.
Is she? Well, I wonder if I might have a word. Things have not gone well for us since you left, and...
About my wages, sir, if you don't mind. I'd rather not take any right now. I'd prefer to let them accrue.
But if you only knew how many are accruing as it is...
Now I must get Swelch and Spitspot.
Come along, darling. After so many years of good service, you made a wrong decision. What's the worst that can happen?
Winifred, if I'm to be dismissed by the bank, we'll be destitute.
But we'll still have what really matters, the children and each other.
Is that locket new? What's inside?
A portrait. Whose? You'll know when the time comes and not before.
You won't leave us, will you, Mary Poppins?
I'll stay until the chain breaks.
What? Where?
Let's wait and see.
Uncanny nannies are hard to find.
Unique yet meek, unspeakably kind.
You're practically perfect.
And yet I'm sure there's still room for improvement. A few games more.
Where else would a chimney sweep be?
The world's awfully big, isn't it?
And what does that tell you?
That we are awfully small and unimportant.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Well, not us so much, but our troubles. They seem so big down in the nursery, but up here...
That's more like it. Troubles are never so bad when you look at them from a little higher up.
Brush away the dirt and soot. Brush away your tears.
Overlook the old swept away.
Hang around for years. They will come on, they will come on. Smudge with tar and gone. But when you need a hand, try to step in just in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a run. Over the rooftop, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a run. Kick your knees up, step in time.
Childhood is a step in time, parenthood's the same.
Never miss a chance to get it right. Woo! Don't it seem a perfect crime? Don't it seem a shame when the steps aren't going as smoothly as they might? That's when we step in time. That's when we step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. That's when we step in time. Link your elbows, step in time. Link your elbows, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Link your elbows, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Kick your knees up, step in time. Oh, step in time. Step in time. Step in time. Step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. If you kick your knees up, kick your knees up, kick your knees up, kick your knees up, step, 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 step. Never need a reason when you step in time. And remember, there's plenty of folk who are here to help should you need it. Back to the nursery?
Back to the nursery.
Back to the nursery, step in time. Back to the nursery, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a run. Back to the nursery, step in time.
What's all this? What is all this?
Special delivery, step in time. Special delivery, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Special delivery, step in time.
Time to go now.
Cheerio, Governor.
Good night, Governor.
Cheerio, Governor.
Good night, Governor. Good night, Governor.
Not so fast. To the nursery now. Jane, you too. Mary Poppins, would you be good enough to explain?
First of all, I would like to make one thing clear.
Yes.
I never explain anything. Come along, children. Spit spot.
It's happened. The chairman wants to see me at the close of business tonight.
Tonight?
We might as well face it. In just a few hours, I'll have joined the ranks of the unemployed.
Are you quite sure?
Quite sure, so we better make some plans. Well, I never, so that's where I put them.
What are they?
Gingerbread stars I hid once from my nanny. I used to dream that when I'd grow up, I'd learn everything there was to know about the stars. It's funny, I haven't thought about all that in years. I'm not usually sentimental.
It's good to look back sometimes.
It's that Poppins woman. She's responsible for all this.
I know the person. It's that thing she's always saying. A spoonful of sugar goes about it takes. It changes bread and water into tea and cakes. A spoonful of sugar goes a long, long way. So have yourself an healthy helping every day. Well, good luck, Governor.
Thank you, Bert, and good luck to you too.
Daddy, do you remember when we came to the bank?
Yes,
Well, we were each given a sixpence and told to spend them wisely.
excellent advice. What did you buy with them?
Well, nothing yet, and now we decided to give them to you.
I suppose Mary Poppins put you up to this.
She hasn't said a word about it.
We thought a bit of extra cash might loosen things up a little.
Good night, Daddy. And we do love you, you know. Mommy, Daddy's really worried, isn't he?
Yes, he is. But always remember that he loves you very much. And that's far more important than jobs or houses or anything else. Are you going to the bank with him? I'd like to go, but I'm afraid it just isn't possible.
Mary Poppins says anything is possible.
Do you really believe that, Mary Poppins?
Anything can happen if you let it. Sometimes things are difficult, but you can bet it doesn't have to be so.
Changes can be made. You can move a mountain if you use a larger spade.
Anything can happen, it's a marvel.
You can be a butterfly or just a larval.
Stretch your mind beyond fantastic. Dreams are made of strong elastic.
Take some sound advice and don't forget it.
Anything can happen if you let it.
If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars. But we found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in.
Feed the birds, sir? Only tuppence a bag.
I'd take it as a great favor if you would kindly feed them for me.
Thanks. You turned down a scheme that was bound to make millions, and we want to know why.
Then I'll tell you. I refused Mr. Von Hustler because his scheme was hollow. He talked about assets and profits and growth, but there wasn't a word about people.
My dear chap, Von Hustler's scheme has ruined our rivals in the nastiest scandal since records began. We're not asking for your apology. We're offering ours.
Oh my word.
And another thing, do you remember giving a loan to a woman called Northbrook? Well, she's repaying it and opening 2 new factories. With the percentage you negotiated, we look set to make a fortune.
Oh my word.
And that's just it. We very much hope you told us how you did it. Just give us the word. It'll be quite safe with us.
Give you the word? I'll give you the word, all right. Supercalifragilistic. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic.
Forgive him, it's not his fault. It's all because of his nanny, Miss Andrew.
The Holy Terror. She taught me everything I know.
Well, then now's your chance to forget it.
Winifred, it's all right. I've made them make a fortune.
Really?
By way of recompense, we'd like to offer you the job of senior manager with salary at double.
Exactly how much has he made for you?
Triple, quadruple your present rate.
Close your mouth, George. We are not a codfish.
Well,
I accept, but you're gonna have to understand one thing first. From now on, my family comes first.
agreed?
Agreed.
Winifred, I'm afraid I've underestimated you.
Oh, George. Anything can happen, it's official. You can choose the super or the superficial. Sally forth the way we're steering. Obstacles start disappearing. Go on, chase
chase your dreams, you won't regret it. Anything can happen if you let it.
I love you, Mary Poppins.
You're a fine boy, Marjoriebanks, and one day you will be a fine man.
Oh, Mary Poppins, it makes me so anxious when you talk like that.
Like what?
All gentle and warm and kind, and not a bit like you. Be cross, Mary Poppins. Be cross.
Is that the thanks I get for the trouble I've taken?
That's more like it.
Now, into bed with the both of you.
It's tonight, isn't it?
Yes, but
Well, goodbye then, Mary.
goodbye, Bert. Do look after yourself. At every job when it's complete, there is a sense of bittersweet. That moment when you know the task is done. Though in your heart you'd like to stay, to help things on their way, you've always known they must do it alone. There. Practically perfect, and I hope it remains so.
Look, it's Mary Poppins' locket, and... oh, the chain's broken.
Don't you remember? I'll stay until the chain breaks. What's inside?
It's a picture of the three of us, and she signed it. From Mary Poppins with a good deal of love.
Where's Mary Poppins?
She's gone.
Gone. How peculiar.
She'll be back. Now, what do you think of this?
It's the best I've ever seen.
Could we fly it together?
Oh, Daddy.
Mary Poppins won't be coming back. She's gone forever.
My dear, how could you possibly know such a thing?
Because we don't need her. Well, not anymore. And other families will, won't they, Daddy?
They will.
I wonder if she's right, George. We really could do without a nanny from now on. What do you think?
I think you'd better dance with me.
George, this is serious. Look, a shooting star. You should wish on it.
Oh, I think we can do better than that. If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars, but we found a whole new spin.
If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in. Anything can happen if you let it. Life is out there waiting, so go and get it. Grab it by the collar, seize it by the scruff. Once you started living life, you just can't get enough. Anything can happen, it's official. You can choose the super or the superficial. Sally forth away with steering. Obstacles start disappearing. Go on, chase your dreams, you won't regret it. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
You'll never forget you, Mary Poppins.
Never forget.
Supercalifragilistic. Here we go! Supercalifragilistic. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always have precocious. Supercalifragilistic. 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 Supercalifragilistic.